And it's a very difficult situation from the morphological point of view, being mostly mountainous or hilly. 70% of the region is mountainous or hilly. And another peculiar situation we have in the region is that we have a huge number of municipalities. We have over 1,200 municipalities, which in Italy is, I think, the second region, the second most numerous region. Having said that, Piedmont region can account for a fundamental role of wireless technologies in reducing the digital divide. Back in 2005, when we started confronting and tackling this problem, we had a situation that said that we had 80% of the population covered using usual DSL technologies, but just 30% of the territory. So this was obviously not an option. For the government, it was mandatory to do something. So we decided to implement a broadband program, and through this program we achieved very good results. I think that today can see more than 99% of population covered and most of the territory covered. How we achieved that? We achieved that through a mix of technologies, so there is no one single technology solution. We used DSL technologies, we used wireless technologies, we used satellite technologies. So only through a mix of all of those you can achieve the desired results. So this is what our experience taught us. Having said that, what we can find now is that markets alone is going where customers are, and this is rather obvious. So what we can say is that both on DSL coverage and mobile phone coverage, the two coverages are almost the same. So let's say that 65–70% of the population or territory which is covered by those solutions are the same. So there is another 30% which is not covered by anyone. So here I think that a reflection should be made on efficient use of spectrum. There are places where spectrum is not used or is not used at all. There are spectrum where you could use that spectrum to convey the right service to the minority of people. I think that one of the key factors in tackling the broadband in rural areas has been the utilization of low-cost wireless technologies, such as Wi-Fi, which, due to the fact that are license-free and hardware is something like very, very cheap, we can call it it's supermarket hardware, you can go anywhere and buy it. This helped a lot in reaching those areas. Now the problem is that we could convey more services using more spectrum, and so part of this spectrum and also other spectrum could be used to do that. And I think one of the other points which is very important is that from the regulatory point of view, leaving all the regulation to national level is okay, obviously, but sometimes some exemptions should be made at regional level, because there could be local situation that only regions can be aware of and can employ, can utilize different scheme of licensing, so that to help the smaller operator to bring the service. Bigger operators, it's clear, want to bring the service where customers are. There are smaller operators who have different scale economies that can use the same spectrum to bring the service somewhere else. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. That was a very specific set of comments, which poses a very pertinent question, which I think has been a kind of guiding thread through all of the interventions. and that's this a la carte use of the most appropriate technologies depending on demand, and that is a very important point. Mr. Oussama Ouzani.
Ladies and gentlemen, La Directive is a major media company in France, a leader in magazines and radio, and now is one of the newcomers for the French digital terrestrial TV. Let me first begin by a short review of the success of digital terrestrial TV in France. Digital terrestrial TV, we'll call it DTT, is now covering 90% of the French population. The analog switch-off started 2 months ago, simultaneously with the digital switchover, and the process will end at the end of 2011. Now more than 43% of the population receives digital TV through terrestrial only, and within 2012 this rate will reach more than 60% of the French population. The reasons of this success are multiple: diversity of the offer, quality of the technology, and the free access. Regarding diversity, the French DTT combines 18 free national TV channels and 10 pay TV channels, as well as local TV channels. Among them, 4 can already be received in free HD. In the future, the official needs of the broadcaster will consist in the migration of every SD channel to HD channel and the launch of mobile TV. At the end of 2008, the French government decided to allocate the subband to telecommunications operators for mobile broadband services. This subband consists of 9 channels of the 800 MHz band. This decision also states that the remaining digital dividend will be dedicated for the development of broadcasting services such as HD, mobile TV, or 3D. However, following a technical study made by the French spectrum regulator for audiovisual services, we now know that the digital dividend won't allow broadcasters to fulfill their needs, despite the analysis made in 2008. At this stage of the reflection, it is clear that the actual DDT won't have enough bandwidth to migrate all free channels to HD in the future. In the short term, decisions need to be taken in France regarding the costs of the 800 MHz band liberation, mobile network operators being the main beneficiaries. We also have to define a technical specification guideline to ensure the protection of the broadcasting services in order to avoid interferences and to allow good quality reception within the households. We also recommend to focus on a guard interval between the UHF band and the subband. The associated costs of this guard band and the protection measures need to be financed by the beneficiary operators. As a conclusion, I want to insist on the fact that the only way to ensure the best quality and the best choice in TV transmission relies on an efficient spectrum policy. As digital terrestrial TV is the main platform in France, the most capacity the broadcasters will have, the best quality and choice in TV can be delivered. Bandwidth is also the key to allow new technology development, and we see now in France that the sub-band is already limiting the opportunities to introduce HD TV, mobile TV, or even 3D. And finally, the protection of the existing services should be a main priority. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I suggest now that we turn to our colleague from the European Parliament, Mrs. Petra Kammerwert. We'll hear from her, and then two more stakeholders, Mrs.